Hey there, welcome back to my channel, Messing with Michelle, cleaning one mess up at a time. If you're returning, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name's Michelle. So if you're not familiar with my channel, it's a cleaning motivation, how-to, and DIY, and today is going to be a how to make a stewed Greek chicken. This is one of my favorite recipes, and it's so simple to make. Now, it just uses very simple ingredients that you can see in front of me, and I'm also using my Instant Pot. Now, if you don't have an Instant Pot, that is perfectly fine. You definitely do not need one. You can just use your stovetop, and I'll walk you through the steps of how to do it. Now, the reason why I'm using my Instant Pot is because it makes the chicken so nice and tender. So stick around, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's get cooking. So this recipe calls for very simple ingredients, as I had mentioned. So all you really need is, I would say, 7 to 8 of your bone-in chicken thighs, skin off. You need a couple of peppers, 1 small onion, 1 can of stewed tomatoes, to have some extra virgin olive oil, as well as a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt and oregano. And you'll also need to have about a 1/4 cup of flour. The first step is preparing the chicken. Now I have a 1/4 cup of white flour in the bowl, and I'm putting a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper. Now you can adjust the taste to your liking, but I find that a teaspoon of each works for my recipe. With my salt, pepper, and flour now combined, I'm going to dredge all of my chicken thighs in my flour and set them aside. Now I love using chicken thighs with the bone in because I find that it gives the sauce so much more flavor. Now I'm turning up the stove to a medium heat, and I'm just adding about 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into the skillet. Now you can follow these exact same steps using your Instant Pot using the saute function. If you're exclusively using stovetop to prepare this meal, make sure that you select a pan that has a lid, because later on you're going to have to cook the chicken for about 45 minutes, and you want to make sure you have that lid on to make sure that you have a good rotation of heat and it cooks the chicken all the way through. While my chicken thighs are browning, I'm going to prepare the vegetables for my recipe. So the first step is preparing the sweet bell peppers. Now today I've decided to use a yellow as well as an orange pepper, but you could also use green if you prefer. With my bell peppers now prepared, I'm going to move on and I'm going to prepare my yellow onion for the recipe. So I'm just using 1 small onion, and I'm just roughly chopping it into small bite-sized pieces. It's been about 5 minutes, and I'm just checking the chicken just to make sure that the browning process is happening, and it definitely is, and these are starting to look fantastic. My chicken thighs are perfectly browned, and this took about 10 minutes. I'm going to remove them from the pan, but keep in mind I just browned them, they're not fully cooked. Using the same pan, I'm going to add my yellow onions, and I'm going to also add a tablespoon of dried oregano. I'm going to combine the two, and I'm going to saute them for about 5 minutes or until the onions are soft and fragrant. If only using an Instant Pot, you can do the same steps with the vegetables by using the saute function. Now that the onions have softened, I'm going to add my bell peppers to the same pan. I'm going to let these saute with the onions and oregano for about 5 minutes or until the peppers are soft. As always, Duke is right beside me in the kitchen, making sure he cleans up any messes that fall on the floor. Now the next step, now that the vegetables are sauteed, is adding all the ingredients to my Instant Pot. First, I'm going to add the browned chicken to the Instant Pot, and as you can see, the chicken is still not fully cooked as mentioned because there is blood on the plate, but this process of the Instant Pot will finish it off. Secondly, I'm going to add my sauteed vegetables into the Instant Pot on top of the chicken. The final step, I'm going to add 1 can of stewed tomatoes with the juices into the Instant Pot. I'm going to combine everything with a wooden spoon. Now, if you're using just stovetop, you can follow the same directions by adding the chicken, stewed tomatoes, and sautéed vegetables inside your pan and combine. Now, make sure that you find a pan that has a lid because you want to lock in the heat to make sure the chicken is cooked all the way through. I suggest to cook for 45 minutes or until the juices run clear of the chicken. Now, I am using my Instant Pot, so I'm setting my timer for 35 minutes and I'm selecting the stew and meat function. Now, I like to cook the chicken in the Instant Pot for 35 minutes just because it allows the flavors to really absorb into the chicken, as well as it makes the chicken so much more tender when it's in there a little bit longer. The cooking time is completed. I'm using quick release to release all the steam. Make sure when you follow this step that you are careful because the steam is very hot. So this is what you've been waiting for, the final reveal. Wow, that looks amazing. I wish you could smell everything combined because it smells so delicious. I think that oregano and the stewed tomatoes add the extra kick that you need and that extra flavor. When I make this recipe, I always like pairing it with white rice, or you can also do a roasted potato as well on the side. I really like to use something that's starchy because there's so much juices in this recipe that you want to use something that absorbs all those wonderful juices. Now, if you like seeing these types of videos, make sure you like this video before you head out. I'm going to leave below in the description box the recipe so you can try it out on your own. Make sure to come back and let me know in the comments what you thought of the meal. Thank you so much for watching my how to make a Greek chicken stew, and I'll see you in my next video.